So we're going to look over perpendicular bisectors. And in this question, we're not going to start right from scratch. Luckily, we've already worked a little bit with this triangle. So we have our triangle here, and these are the coordinates of our triangle. And we previously found the midpoint. Right? If you got to look it over, you can always just check out a video on midpoints, right? So we found this midpoint, and a perpendicular bisector. A bisector means to cut in half, which is exactly what a midpoint is. This star here is essentially cutting this line in half. That's the middle of it. But perpendicular means it's a line that's going to be 90 degrees. Okay, it's going to make a 90-degree angle with whatever line our midpoint's on. Well, our midpoint's on this line, so it needs to be perpendicular to that. Well, in order to figure out perpendicular bisectors, only thing we really know about are negative reciprocals. Okay? And in order to find a negative reciprocal of some sloped line, so if I get the slope of this line, I find the negative reciprocal, and it'll give me a slope that's 90 degrees. But I don't have the slope of this line yet, do I?
No.
So I need to actually find the equation of this line, and I have two coordinates on the line, so I'm going to do that first. Okay? So I need to find the equation of this line. We'll call it AB. Okay, this was our point C. So line AB, y equals mx plus b. The first thing I'm going to find is my m. M is equal to rise over run, which is y2 minus y1. We're okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to call this my x1 and my y1, my x2 and my y2. So we're kind of speeding through this. I take my y2 and subtract my y1, so that's 4 minus 2 divided by. I take my x2 and minus my x1. That's 2 minus 4. I've written that coordinate wrong. This should be negative 2. Yes. So that, just going to fix that part. Otherwise, that would have messed everything up. 4 minus negative 2. So minus negative 2. 2 minus 4. That works out better. So our slope here, this becomes like adding. So that's 6 over negative 2, which means we have a slope of negative 3. And that makes sense, right? We're going from the top left kind of to the bottom right. We have a negative sloped line. That makes sense. Yeah, it looks like it's a rise of up 3 over 1. Perfect. So we have our slope, but to actually get the equation, y equals negative 3 x, I'm going to say plus b, we need to solve for the b now. And we can take any coordinate along this line. I can take this one, I can take the midpoint, or I can take this one here. Which would you like to use?
A point.
8? Okay, so let's use our 8 point, 2 and 4. X is 2 and y is 4. So we replace y with the number 4 is equal to negative 3. X was the number 2, is that right?
Yeah.
Plus b. So we're going to isolate for b. So this becomes 4 is equal to negative 6 plus b. And when I move negative 6 to the other side, what does it become?
Positive.
Yeah. So what will that add up to?
10.
All right. So the slope of our line, can you tell me it? Y equals?
3. Negative 3.
Good.
X plus b plus 10.
Yeah, excellent. So that's the slope of our line AB. Or sorry, that's the equation of our line AB. But that's not our goal. Remember, our goal is to find a perpendicular bisector. So how do I figure out something that's perpendicular to this line?
It has the same slope.
If it has the same slope, then it's going to slope the exact same way. Had to do with this word up here. Do you remember?
Reciprocal.
Yeah. So I got to find the reciprocal or the negative reciprocal of negative 3x. Okay. So let's make this into a fraction. How do I make negative 3 into a fraction?
Put it over 1.
Yep. And I got to find the negative reciprocal. So the negative reciprocal of that. What will the reciprocal be?
1 over 3.
Yep, 1 over 3. And if I multiply a negative times a negative, what will I get?
Positive.
Positive. So it's going to be positive 1 over 3x. That's going to be the slope of our new line. Okay? So our new line is going to be y is equal to positive 1 over 3x plus b. So remember the line we're finding, and I'm going to try to do this as best I can. It's going to be 90 degrees to that. Ooh, that's pretty good, right? It looks like it could be 90. Okay. I need to find the equation of this line, though, this perpendicular bisector. Well, I have the slope. I need to find b. In order to find b, I need a point on the line. Do we have any points on this line? on this red line here?
Yes.
What do we have?
-1 and.
Oh, are you
-1?
looking here?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go for a definitive point, because otherwise
Okay.
we're estimating. Do we cross any points along the line AB with this line?
Yeah.
What point do we cross?
3 and 1.
Yeah, it's positive 3. 3 and 1, which means that is actually on this. So that's the coordinate we're going to use to solve for our b. So x is 3 and y is 1. So replace y with 1 is equal to 1 over 3. We multiply by our x value, which is 3, plus b. We simplify it. 1/3 times 3 is actually just 1 plus b. When I move 1 to the other side, what do we get?
-1.
What's b going to be?
0.
0. So our perpendicular bisector, or PB here, is y equals 1/3 x plus 0. Do I need to write that 0 in?
No.
No, it's really just y equals 1/3 x. So in other words, I'm going to modify my line just a little. It should look more like this. Our y-intercept is at 0. And maybe that is a way better, yeah, that does look way better than we had it before. Does that make sense for a perpendicular bisector? Okay, good.